we doing? Good. Who ordered this, huh? You know, I thought we got what we wanted out of this. The practice was good for us. The scrimmage was good. There was some competitiveness on both sides. We got a little bit short in personnel. We ended up with only 3 linebackers healthy. And it's interesting to watch a team step up. The defensive staff coached the defensive end, Chris Rump, up, and he jumped in there and played linebacker and did pretty well. Down low in receivers, but that gave us a chance to look at our tight ends. But we're a work in progress still. I thought the kicking work was good for us. Disappointed that we missed an extra point. We're going to continue to look at that part of the game. We got to be better in every aspect of the kicking game. But the biggest thing I think we saw again was our defense's aggressiveness and ability to play a lot of people. And we got a lot of people out on that side of the ball as well. So pretty excited about where we are. I'll take your questions.
Coach, you have 17 starters back. A lot of times, I guess the coach is worried that maybe some complacency. But instead, it looks like you're getting good competition. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I think our starters realize right now there's people behind them that can play. I'm loving that. We've got more competition in every position that we've had. We're going to benefit from that. The dream is being able to play 22 regularly. But we've got people right now that may be third on the depth chart that are fighting their way into playing time. So something we're going to continue to push.
Deon Jackson getting one of the most improved awards. We got to see him fight through some contact into the end zone. What did you see from him this spring that led to that award?
You know, I think the biggest thing, one of the reasons we also pushed spring ball back was to get a conditioning run in the front end. He benefited from that maybe more than anybody else. You've all heard of the freshman 15. Deon did that quickly in the fall. And so I think he's found his right playing weight. He's in a really good place as far as conditioning and also just learning and understanding the offense. That's been what we've seen all spring. He has done that all spring long, so I'm thrilled with that.
How do you feel about where your offense is coming out of this spring?
Difficult day-to-day with this win. But if we had everybody out there available to us, Aaron Young was one of those candidates for most improved, and then he broke his hand, and so he's missed work. But I think right now we have more weapons, more ability to score touchdowns. We've got a quarterback that I believe in, and we've got some people playing well behind him. I think we're ahead of where we were in a big way from this time of year.
I know Miles got his award on defense. How's that shaping up for the guys who are going to, because there's a lot of new names on that position opposite Mark?
That war in the secondary is going to continue. It's interesting. Michael Carter was another one that I could have known in the most improved world. And, there you are with Jordan Hayes and Jeremy McDuffie out all spring as the starters. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at corner. We got safeties that can play corner. We got corners that I believe can play safety. One of our goals, and I think Matt Gary and Derek Jones took this to heart a few years ago. I told them, I said, I want to recruit defensively. Everybody should be able to cover. Everybody should be able to tackle. Why do we have to differentiate between the corner and the safety? So I think what you're seeing back in that back end right now is 5 guys that are defensive backs, and I think we got about 10 of them competing.
What's your level of confidence that Jeremy will be ready for the start of the season?
He's going to be ready. He looks great. He looks really good. And unfortunately for him, he's had to go through this before. He knows what it takes, but he is in a really good spot right now as far as his rehab.
You mentioned being able to see a lot from the tight ends with the wide receivers struggling with the wind. What does Noah Gray bring to his offense? We saw some of it last year.
I tell you what he does. He runs routes. And I've talked to all of our receivers and tight ends about this with a sense of urgency right now, trying to figure out, do we want 3 wide receivers in the game and a tight end, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 1 wide. You're going to see us in more personnel groupings than ever. Another one that you're going to see is we're going to get more of those backs. Deon Jackson's the best route running, receiving running back that I've been around. And so you're going to see him line up at receiver some. So I'm excited. We're going to do all of that stuff today, and you can't do all of it in 15 days in spring ball, but we got some planning time now, and I think our staff's going to embrace this.
What is it that makes Dion such a good route runner?
He played receiver, and he can change directions, what you would call stick your foot in the ground. And I mean, he naturally separates, and his hands are as good as our receivers, to be honest with you. And he's a big guy. He's a 215-pound guy.
We had some rule changes come out yesterday for college football. How do you think
I'm not a big fan of the kickoff thing. I think, be real honest with you, I think that's somewhat of a Band-Aid. You got to think about how you're going to coach it and be fair to kids. You got a guy back there that's having to make a decision. Now move to catch a ball. Now he's got to run. He's got to maybe make a fair catch signal. Do I do it? And then everybody up front's still blocking and still hitting. I'm not sure what we accomplished. Sounds all good, when you read it. And I just don't know that it's functional. I'm really, and I'll be honest with you, I'm ready to, and I've been around a long time, I'm ready to lose the kickoff. I get it, and I think what we could do is this thing out there about the team that scores has the opportunity to put the ball on the 30 or 35-yard line. It's 4th and 10. There's your onside kick percentage. You go for it. You may have a better percentage than a definite onside kick. And then if you don't want to do that, you punt it. And we hadn't got problems in the punt game like we do in the kickoff coverage game. We've always said forever, covering a kickoff isn't for everybody. And there's a reason we say that. So I still think the collisions, the wedge has got to block. They're not going to know whether the guy fair catches it or not. The ball gets sprayed all over the place. You're going to get muffed catches when you're not sure what you're doing. It kept me up, to be honest with you, last night. I'm sitting there thinking how I want to coach it. And I think the best way is to not let them score on you. There's less opportunities, right? That's why I finally went to sleep. We're not going to let anybody score, so there you go.
How much does this defense that you have aid that ability to sleep?
I hope when I can sleep. That's what kind of came to my mind. Maybe we'll limit the number of kickoffs we have to return.
Thanks, Coach.
What has Daniel learned this past offseason? How much has he grown?
I think that the sense of urgency, that the speed of the game has to be something that's constant. We've really worked hard with his footwork. I think we've seen a marked improvement with that. Understanding the value of pre-snap reads and how fast you can play and how quickly you got to pull the trigger sometime. All of that just goes with being a veteran. And we've had a lot of fun this spring. Not just Daniel, but all the quarterbacks are trying to embrace that. And I've been really pleased that he's like a sponge right now. He's really hungry and anxious to kind of take his game to the next level.
Talking about the quarterbacks, what have you enjoyed watching about Gunner, and where can he really grow?
Well, I told coaches on the headset today, I mean, Gunner's a natural football player. He plays fast. He's accurate when he throws the ball. He makes good pre-snap decisions. He didn't get as many reps as you would ever like, but when you got 4 quarterbacks and you're the new guy on the block, that happens. But he's taking advantage of his opportunity.
What can he learn from watching Daniel?
A lot. I think being an understudy is a big part of being an outstanding quarterback. T. Martin was able to win a national championship on the heels of understudy and Peyton Manning. So take advantage of that opportunity.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.